one of the problems with the parking heater, like these red ones, these Vivo ones, that's in a self-contained case, is attaching the exhaust. It's really a pain because this is the stuff here they give you, and for some reason it's a bitch to get a clip on and hold that pipe on tight. It sometimes comes loose. So I had a bit of a thought about it, because there must be a better way. And a few weeks ago on Deborah's heater, I sort of was experimenting on opening up pipe like this, because if you look down here, here's one I made earlier that said on Blue Peter. This pipe here is 23.66 and this one here is 24.33. Now it doesn't really matter about this one because that's just a, you know, collapsible piece of flexible pipe. I'm not bothered about that, but it's the exhaust, because we don't want the exhaust to blow back inside your shop or wherever you've got your heater. So I was experimenting with this, and what I did was I expanded the copper to go over here like that. See what I mean? And now you can put a hose clip on that, and because it's annealed, it'll stay tight and won't come off. But also we can change the angle so the pipe comes out at the side, so when you want to connect this onto here, it's pretty easy to do instead of messing about under the heater. But it baffled me for ages. This is about Mark 3, and the problem is, where we are in North America, these are 3/4 inch pipes. In Europe it's 22mm, but that's 24mm. And these are the unions that we get. These are not unions, these are the angle bends we get. So I wanted to find a way how I could expand them without really damage them, because copper you can do all sorts with them. And I just thought of something a bit rudimentary, because I saw on Amazon there were some pipe expanders, but they were for straightening out damaged pipes. I'll put a picture here. Well, they didn't have the size that I needed, so I made one. This is one of those impact sockets off a drive, and I just filled it up with weld, and then I continued to grind it down till it got the right shape. And so the flats on their outside are 24/17, so it should be alright. Now I'm going to do an experiment now and see if it works on this piece of pipe. I'm not sure, because I'm sort of running out of copper pipe now. So I've already annealed this. I heated it till it was cherry red and then quenched it, and it works fine. Some people say leave it to cool naturally. I don't know, either works. So we're going to put it in the vise and see if we can get this to work. Now I don't know, I've had trial and errors with this. Now I'm putting a piece of socket in here to support this. So let's get the impact gun out. Now I'm using the impact gun because it'll drive into that thing. Now this isn't particularly perfectly round, but you'll get the idea. Put a bit of oil on it. Too bad, a little bit deeper. Right. So that's now expanded. Now let's have a look over on the heater. Drop straight on. Can't get my pipe out now. That's a bit too much. Alright, that's a bit too loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to waste this, but on the other side I'm going to try this, but I'm going to grind my tool down a little bit, because obviously when it's banging around it's rattling side to side. So I'm just going to take about 1 millimetre or so off, and that should be alright. Right, after a series of experiments I got the size exactly right. Now I just nipped this in the vise because I am running out of pipe. But the tool now is making a nice diameter for that, so that's just a nice push on fit. And of course once you clamp it up, it's going to be fine. But as I said before, silver solder, these joints, don't use lead solder. But again, that's going to be good. So that's that little part over. The next part I'm going to show you is another problem. I'll just tidy up. So what was the other problem? I mentioned in a video previously that I'd ordered a fitting to go onto the back of the heater so that it would accept ambient air, so I could attach a hose and go into the camper rather than sucking outside air in, which is really cold. And this came yesterday and it don't fit. It don't fit at all. I don't know what they were thinking of. It won't fit on the inside, and in the advert it said it was threaded. Well, clearly it's not threaded, and I put a claim into Amazon and I got my money back in an instant, and now they've been discontinued. It has been 3D printed, and it's a nice piece of work if it fitted, because the hose here, it's just a nice fit for here, lovely. But this couldn't make any tell about it, because it's too small just to push into the back. And again, there's nothing to stop that hitting the fan. Bummer. But we will not be overcome, because I found a piece of hose here, which is a flexible hose, proper size. And when Jim was here, when we were messing about with this heater, I was looking for an alternative way to fasten that onto there, and then I came up with this, an old tin can. Now it's just actually it's a dull pineapple chunk thing. Is it chunks? Chunks or rings? Oh, it's rings. I don't know if it makes a difference. But this fits on the back of here. Lovely. Just like that. I put a couple of slits in it with a saw, just to you know, just so it'll clinch down. Look at all that magnetism stuff in it. It's all over the place, isn't it? Now, by doing it like this, it also clinches the casings together. That's not going anywhere. But how do I attach this to this? Well, actually this fits into there. Brilliant. Now, the other thing I came up with an old bean tin. And I pushed a bean tin inside there, put several slits around this one, because this one is a little bit smaller. Put the bean tin in, and then with your screwdriver, just back this off a little bit, move it around, turn this, tighten it up, and now that ain't going to come out of there. It's not touching the fan. Brilliant. So when me insulation comes, we'll have all that fitted. Because I bought some like foam insulation that goes around a pipe. I got some 3" and 3.5". I know it's in inches, but that's all there was available. And then I can install this, and this is going to be a lot better. So this, like I say, is my test bench. The test bench was for trying to find out a decent hose for there. And now we can reassemble this and test it again, because I did find out something interesting with some of these controllers, because I ordered yet another controller, because I think Deborah's was playing up and you couldn't put the 1688 code into it. It wouldn't have it. So I bought another one, bingo, straight away. So that's this little setup I've got here is my test bench, and it's working out really really well, because it saves me driving all the way up there and just trying something. Oh, that doesn't work, so I can do that here. So I'm going to build this up, and everything should be good. Right, so I've just got this heater back together, and we're going to do some testing. It's gone through its startup phase. It's on the lowest settings at the moment. I've programmed 2 controllers. They should be working fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the exhaust temperature to make sure that that's going to be fine. So let's take it up. Right, so that's getting on to its maximum temperature. I've also, with this controller, this is a replacement controller. The one on here is my own, but I bought another one and I've set it up for Deborah's heater, so I can program it here, just clip it in and everything will work. I've had a little bit of a harassment with some of these controllers. I bought several of them and half of them didn't work. And I've also had 2 controllers that didn't work, so it's a bit hit and miss. So what we're going to do is now is have a look at the output of the heat on the exhaust pipe. Now, I mentioned earlier, or perhaps I've forgotten now, I use silver solder rather than lead solder on the pipe just because I didn't know what temperature this was getting out up to. And for some lead solders this could actually melt, so let's have a look and see what the temperature of the exhaust is. 150, wait a minute, let's see, 270, and here, it's very hard to say really, it's judged about 127, but the exhaust is very hot. So it's hotter than solder would be, so it would melt, so that's why we use silver solder. But it's burning really, really well. I mean, it's absolutely stonking heat out there. Really good. And again, it's all controllable. Yeah, it's not bad. I painted the exhaust black because it's not reflective for the thermal imaging camera. So we can go up and down, like I say, a very responsive unit. And you can hear the pump ticking away very, very slowly. So, in our next set of tests, I'm going to use this setup here. I'm going to fill the tank brim full. I'm going to see how long it lasts for 1 hour on low speed, like low heat. Because that's kind of nice, and I'm just thinking, because it's -20 outside, something that could supplement the heating for this shop that's cheaper than wood pellets, because I'm banging through wood pellets like nobody's business because it's very, very cold. But if I can use this heater just to, augment my, well, not augment, but supplement my heating, well, it would be quite good, and especially for next year. But so far, so good. Now, I will try a twin tank system where I want to burn some heating oil. Problem is trying to get hold of a few litres of heating oil. You have to buy like barrels of it or nothing at all. Don't know, we'll see. Many people have asked me about kerosene. Why don't you buy kerosene, mate? It's $5 and something 60 cents a litre, because we can only buy it at certain stores, and it comes in like 20 litre pails. It's very expensive. So it's not really for burning. Other people have asked me why don't I mix engine oil with petrol. Not really. Not a particularly good brew, is it? You don't know what you're going to get. So no. But that is really, really nice. That's really, really, really nice. These Chinese heaters are really very hard to beat for quality and reliability, and of course little bits are cheap, like these are only $4 a piece. We're not bothered about that too much. But I was really pleased to know that if you disconnect them from the battery, they keep the settings, they don't lose the settings. That's really, really good. Yeah, that's just ticking away nice. So I think tomorrow's experiment is to top this up with diesel and leave it like this on a low setting and see how long it lasts for 1 hour. Alright? See you later.